Hello friends, this is Low Rate Hitman. Today I got a little Modern Warfare 3 drop zone as always. I know yesterday I slipped a little bit of that Saints Row 3 in on you guys, and I appreciate you guys allowing me to do that. I try not to just strictly stick to one game, which I do a lot of drop zone. I do understand that. I think of this round I go 49 and 14. It was nothing big, but the team did put up a little challenge, and I really did like that. It's hard to find a challenge on this game. It really is. What I want to talk to you guys about today, I think, is how I feel personally that very few things in life are actually free. And I know elections are coming up. I don't want anybody to think that I'm trying to push any kind of political thing on anybody, because I'm not. I refuse to do politics on my channel. What I'm going to talk about right here is my feelings about things in life being free. And people, what they expect to be free, and maybe some things on what I believe should be free. I may not cover everything in this video, because I think I'm going to start off. I'm going to give you guys a little background about myself, because I really haven't opened up to you guys. You guys know I'm a father of 2 kids. I work. I enjoy video games, and I'll do anything in the world for my children. I'm single. I mean, you guys know the basics, but I'm going to give you guys a little history of the way that I grew up. And I'm not saying the way that I grew up is the right way. I think the way that I grew up was a very harsh kind of way to grow up, especially in this world. But it happens all the time, especially in this day and age. My father, I think he stayed with us till I was about 3 years old, and he left. And I never did meet him until I think I was 14 years old. My mom, she tried to do the best that she could raising me, working in restaurants or whatnot. I guess I'm what you'd call white trash. I mean, that's the stereotype. That's what people would say. That's not what I am now, but that's how I grew up. That's how people like to classify poor people in the South. Is because I was less fortunate than others. I didn't wear the best clothes to school. I got made fun of a lot for the things that I wore to school. I put stress on my mom about that. And at that age, I didn't understand. I thought, these people are making fun of me. I'm missing something in my life that I'm supposed to have, and I don't have it. And I feel, some reason when you're a kid, you feel neglected. I don't know why. I don't believe, the whole picture is the reason why, things like that bother us when we're so young. I mean, and I see it in my kids. My kids, as I've grown up, I try and get them the nicer things in life. Nice shoes, nice clothes, and just nice things. I think it's part of me being young, and going through what I went through as far as that aspect goes. So my mother, she did do what she could do. She could only do so much in life, because she never applied herself in life. She didn't get her GED till she was 30, and well, you don't know. There I go with that again. But she was on drugs. She did a lot of drugs. There was a lot of those types of people in and out of my life growing up, and I grew accustomed to that. And I had a stepfather eventually, and he was a hard ass. When I was about 8, man, that man would wake me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd be working until 5 o'clock at night. I mean, cutting wood, just doing everything. I'm talking about manual labor. I mean, I was stout. When I played football, man, I was throwing kids. They wasn't ready for something like me, because all I knew how to do was to work hard. Work hard and not have much of nothing, and appreciate the things that you do have. And it was hard to appreciate the things that I had, because that's all that I knew. I didn't know any better, but I was made fun of for what I did have, and that was very disturbing, which, to a kid, it's just hard to explain to them, why you don't have. You just got to grow up, you got to look back, and you got to understand, and so I say very few things in life are free. But the one thing that I am grateful for that was free was, my life, me being born, and the choice that was made, to have me into this world. My mother could have easily aborted me, and I'm not trying to touch on any kind of touchy subjects or anything. It happens every day. And, a lot of people in society, especially poor people, they don't want poor people to have children, because it brings more poor people into the world, and that's more of a burden on the world in these people's eyes, because at one point or another, they might need to get on government assistance or whatnot, and it's a big hindrance. They'd rather poor people be sterile, but as the days go by and the economy gets worse, there's more and more poor people. So it's truly turned into a very unfair thing to say, even though it's unfair to start with. A lot of people realize, no, this ain't right, because at a drop of a hat, you can lose everything that you've got in life. I mean, you can bust your butt and build it back up to however you had it, but in the long run, you can't take it with you. That's the bottom line. So as far as nothing being free, what I was getting at, I was watching some stuff on a lot of government aid and a lot of people abusing that, and they feel like it should be entitled to them, that it's free. It's not free. The taxpayers have to pay that, and the taxpayers are the working class people like you and I that have to go to work every day, and SSI is taken out of our check, for our retired people, which probably will not be there for our generation whenever we need it. It's already in a negative already because they use that surplus up, and nothing is free as far as when it comes from the government. The taxpayers have to pay for it. Healthcare, food, benefits, anything like that. If you go to work, you are the one paying for it. Our children will be the one that will pay for it if they have jobs and if they go to work. If you hear of somebody, that, I know these people, and I'm not calling anybody out, but I know like these women, they'll have like 2 or 3 kids, and they'll get like $500-600 a month in food stamps, and they'll get their schooling paid for, and they'll sell their food stamps on the side, and they'll have an old man that they won't say that's living with them, and their old man will go to work every day, and he's making a paycheck, and they're living in free housing, and he'll come home, and they're not even thinking that he's there, so that family right there is getting his income, getting the food stamps, getting free schooling, getting free health care, free daycare for the kids, thousands of dollars in benefits, which we have to pay for, which I'm not downing that because people do need those programs. They really do. But there's a lot of people out there that abuse these programs, and they don't look into these things. They really don't. And just to get it out in the open, I'm not referring to me being a kid as growing up, being poor and getting these assistances. The only thing we had when it was my age, you didn't get all this stuff. You got some government cheese and peanut butter, okay? You got some crackers and some rice. You got commodities. That's what you got. You had to stand in line for those things. That's part of being poor, and if there wasn't no food, that's what you had to do, My mom did it several times, to put food on the plate, and that it doesn't bother me one bit, man. I feed my kids good. They're healthy, trust me. They are very healthy. But I think I might do another video on this because I could have kept on talking about that. But I want to tell you something that is free in life. That's looking at somebody and smiling, telling them that you hope they have a good day, giving them positive things, that it's very free and it's very beneficial, and people remember that stuff, So anytime you see somebody that's down, try and lift them up. That's your responsibility, being a brother or a sister to somebody in life, because we're all brothers and sisters. I don't care what your skin color is, your nationality, or whatever. We're all in this together. And with that said, I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'm glad that you guys stopped by as always. I really do appreciate it, and I like the interaction I've been getting here lately, and hope you guys have a wonderful day, and follow me on Twitter so I can interact with you on there. Thanks a lot.